damn music.
You got me vibing over here,
hey,
man.
Hey, boy, JLE World, JLE Experience changed your life.
Man,
check them out. All positive music from Detroit banging beats.
I love it.
Welcome to the episode, Middle Ground with JLE, where we treat you like family. That's the theme song, Detroit Love, off my first album, the JLE Experience. Don't mute nothing on Facebook. I own the copyright. I'm going to see them old stuff saying you own it. It's mine. I made it. I wrote it. Produced with my co-producer, Throne Music. Don't do that to me. We got another amazing guest for you. And get his credentials out the way because there's some phenomenal stuff this man been doing. We got a fellow Wayne State University alum, CEO and founder of Fresh Air Detroit, L.L.C, Etiquette Instructor, life coach, male mentor, and the Union career manager, Elder Marc Spight. If I said your last name right.
No, yep, you got
there
it.
There we go. Awesome. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, I appreciate you for sharing your story. Here we go with this amazing first question. What led you to this path?
It was a combination of like my life story.
Okay.
Growing up, I faced some challenges. Definitely 15 years old, I got shot. Ooh. And it was just a terrible experience for me. I actually died in the hospital and they were able to revive me. And, just going through that experience, I knew that I knew what it's like to feel lost. I knew what it was like to just see, be in despair. And I wanted to make sure that I provided, hope and guidance for young people. Every job I pretty much have or been involved, supporting youth, helping youth, and just, I wanted youth to know that they can win in life no matter the circumstances, just allowing myself to be a vessel for God to use to help, young people have a second chance.
Okay. That's amazing, man. Next question. What is the Union?
The Union is a nonprofit organization. Funny story. It started off as a record label.
Okay.
Yep. So the CEO, Jason Wilson, he created it as a record label. It was a few artists signed to it. I was actually a rap artist back then. This was like 2 years ago. So when I was listening to your track, I'm like, I got to get on the remix,
Have to get one. Okay, I'm with it.
Yeah. So we started, just doing music and trying to counter the negative stereotypes that we were seeing in the rap industry. This was like the early 90s.
Okay.
So, the whole hot boy culture, the whole, it was just at its peak, and so, how that was, just the stereotypes, that they were putting out there. This back when we was wearing tall tees and the whole nine, so.
Yeah, I remember those. Everything my mama name.
Right, So the Union, they were trying to counter those negative stereotypes through media. We would put out videos and just all kind of stuff. And I was just a part of that whole movement. Right. And it went from there. He got with his wife, Nicole, and they decided to start a nonprofit. And it started off with like life skills and mentoring, and it grew into what it is now with the Cave of Adullam, which is an amazing social emotional learning transformative academy for young men, where he uses martial arts to help teach them how to balance their emotions. I'm a career manager, basically like a career coach with their workforce development program, but I pretty much done everything that the Union offers, as far as with, they got a program called SWAG, where they go into the schools and teach confidence and self-awareness, keys to life, where we use music. Actually, that's at Wayne State, where we use music to help teach life skills. They learn beat production, they learn playwriting, dancing, just, the whole spectrum of music and anything creative. So we use that to also counter, the negativity and all of the ideas that you have to twerk and do all these things in order for you to really express yourself. They actually have a play coming up tomorrow at DSA at 7:00. So that's going to be really amazing. My son, he's involved. He works. He's staff there at their summer camp. They do GDYT and everything too. So the Union now is like an umbrella for all of these programs that are in the community. And, we're right over there by Focus Hope across the street from Focus Hope. And we're in that community and just really, doing our best to touch the community and revitalize the neighborhood over there.
That's good stuff. We definitely need that because that time period. Everybody trying to be thugs, man.
Right.
It's cool to be a nerd, man. Be yourself.
Exactly. That.
You founded Fresh Air Detroit LLC. How did that come about?
Well, so it's funny because initially I created the program to really support my son and a couple of young people that I knew. Okay. So, I got tired of him coming from basketball practice smelling like Coney Island and stuff, so, but, when you're a young man, you're growing and you're developing. And so, you have to learn how to, do grooming and all of those things. So I'm like, how can I teach him in a way where, it can impact him? Because, a lot of times as a parent, when you saying stuff, it don't really register. They got to hear from somebody else. So I tried to strategize on many ways to bring it about. And God gave me the inspiration to create it's almost like a comic, like an anime comic.
Nice.
To highlight a character named Heir. And so this character named Heir, which is spelled H-E-I-R, like an heir to the throne. Okay. He goes through these challenges and, he has this journal that his father left him. His father passed away, and he has this journal that his father left him to help keep him on the right track. And so it kind of came from there. I pitched it to our CEO at the Union, Jason, and he loved the idea. Mm-hmm. And they were doing some etiquette things with the boys, but he was like, this is it. I believe like this is a program that they can really get behind. So he put the battery on my back to really move forward with it. So I started doing it with the kata, which is the cave of Alum. And I'm in my second year, going into my third year doing it now.
That's dope because you don't hear about teaching etiquette to guys. I know they had that show with Puff Daddy assistant doing etiquette, but that's most you heard of. Like, well, there's etiquette on how you eat, carry yourself, dress. But man, that's corny. You can't no, that's grown man business right there.
Exactly. And that was the thing because, a lot of the young men didn't know how to speak, in a room when they went to get jobs, because I also do workplace etiquette. They would come in with jeans on and T-shirts and, they had no idea, how to do simple things. And we were noticing a high turnover when we gave them jobs. We placed them in these wonderful places like Accenture and all these places in Code 313 and they was having issues just communicating, and so he's like, what, we really need to lean in on these soft skills with not just the young men but the young ladies as well, and teach them how to engage, how to interact, because they on their phones mostly, they just lack human interaction, just hello, how are you? Like, I used to get on my son, he'd come in the house and won't even speak. And I'm like, how you walk in the room and not say anything, say good morning, say hi, Dad, how are you? Teaching them these things that we grew up with because they call us old school, but this was the foundation.
That discipline will come. You walk in the room, don't speak to nobody. We weren't raised that way,
right? Yeah,
that's good. That's definitely needed because I know at Wayne State going there, walk through Gullah Mall, it was common.
yeah.
I'm like, man, we're in Detroit. Street rules always apply anywhere.
Definitely.
Watch your surroundings.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be walking like this with a phone in your face by you bumping into something or someone's run up on you, give me your stuff. Like, come on, man, what y'all doing?
Yeah.
Thinking
Yeah. And then, you know, they go up to the universities. Let's say they do go to school. You know, it's a culture shock a lot of times. And, you know, they really don't know how to interact. You know, my wife, she, you know, really focuses on the women, you know, and the young girls. She talks to them about hygiene and different things like that. Because, you know, it's just as important with the women. But I just see the young men, you know, just being labeled, you know, and this YN label that they throw around so often, you know, I can't stand it, you know, and it's like a lot of them are embracing this identity. And I'm like, you're not that, you know, and a lot of them don't even come from homes like that, households like that. They just want, you know, just like we was doing the tall tees and you know, so it's but at this, you know, day and time is so critical because you see a lot of them getting shot down by the police because they don't know how to engage. They don't know how to really deal if they got to go to court, if they got to take care of business. They really don't have just a framework for it. So,
and I didn't know what YN was for me. I had to look up what is this like. Oh, this is a new way to say that word. Okay.
Yeah.
It's nothing you want to be.
Not at all.
You want to be yourself. Being yourself is cool.
Yeah, I agree.
And 25 is weird that you have to re-say that to people. It still matters to be you.
Yeah.
Because that's all you got.
Yeah, definitely.
You try to be who you see on TV, it's not going to last long at all. Because you're going to come out. Now, I saw you as elementary school teacher as well. How does that help on your journey?
Well, I mean, it gave me a foundation to understand how to educate. A lot of what I do with Fresh Air is curriculum based. So I'm creating curriculums. I learned that through teaching. I was teaching at Mayberry Elementary School in Southwest Detroit. And, you know, it's predominantly Hispanic community. And I, you know, basically had to go in and learn how to, you know, just navigate the culture. You know, there's a big culture barrier there. But, you know, I pride myself on being able to build relationships. And so, you know, just build community with the families and build community within the school. And I mean, I would have parents helping out in the class. You know, we had great participation. A lot of the young men that others couldn't really deal with. You know, they would come eat lunch with me. You know, it's just a natural ability because, like I said, that's my story. So when you come from, you know, when you come from those type of beginnings, you understand how important it is to build relationships and connect. But, you know, education and teaching really set the foundation for everything that I do. I taught math and science. It really, you know, a lot of young men are afraid of math.
Really? I never heard that before, bro.
Yeah, you know, they're afraid unless it's counting money. But as far as like algebra and different things like that, you know, once they start seeing letters and all of that, they a lot of them shy away from it and won't even attempt. Yeah, won't even attempt to, you know, to try it. And so, you know, just my knack for coming up with creative ways, creating songs, creating stories, and bringing the numbers to life, you know, really impacted the young men. And I'm very animated when I'm in class. So I'm not passing out worksheets. I'm moving around the room. I'm jumping on the desk, jumping on whatever I got to do. At the end of the day, I got to go take an old man nap, you know, because I'm trying to give them everything I got, you know.
Nice. I remember my tutor in college. She was getting her doctorate, and she showed me her math. I'm like, K times C, like timeout. Well, let me explain to you. No, Yoda. No, I'm gonna be a young Jedi with this algebra and trig. I don't want to know what that equals. This is enough right. This science chart enough right here. I'm good. I'm seeing P K.
Right.
I'm good.
Right.
She started laughing like, "Hey, I know. I figured out how to study math because that was my. I didn't know how really. I thought just look at the chapter. You got to do the problem." People probably told me, but I didn't pay no attention really until she really got me. You can't just read it like a book, Jeff. You got to do the problem.
Right.
And you'll start understanding the place.
That's funny.
But you give me all that's awesome, brother.
Thank you.
Now, what led you become a church elder at Redeemed Christian Fellowship Ministries International?
Oh, Redeemed. That's been my church since I started in college. You know, when I started, I was a young man, about 20 years old. I met one of my good friends, Emmanuel Smith. We were working at the YMCA together. And it was funny because I used to drive this old school Crown Vic. And I had the police light on the side and everything.
Okay. Nice.
And it worked. So
you have fun.
So my car went down at work. And I'm like, man, how am I going to get home? I was living in Highland Park at the time. Okay. And so Emmanuel, he was like, you know, I'll take you home. You know, it's no problem. He said, you know, my church is in the neighborhood, and I usually stop by there after church because we had Bible studies and everything. So I said, cool. So, you know, he put on some Christian hip hop, and this was really my first introduction to Christian hip hop. You know,
okay.
So he playing songs I never heard, and you know, my perception at that time, because I'm listening to like you know, Jay-Z and the Locks and all this type of stuff, and he putting this on, but it was good. It was good music. You know, I think it was an artist named Corey Red or somebody. You know, it was like these artists that I never heard before, and I'm like, yo, this is quality music. And so we struck up a conversation about music, and you know, my heart was always with God, but, you know, I didn't know how to express it as a young man. I was trying to figure out, you know, where, you know, my lane was.
Okay.
And so anyway, he stopped at the church. I went in the church. It was this big purple church. And I said, you know, I looked around and, you know, I had a feeling. I said, you know, it's something different about this place.
Okay.
And so, you know, when he dropped me off at home, I, you know, got my car, and then the next time I was driving, I said, you know what time do y'all have Bible study? So I stopped by the church, and they had Bible study, and it was so many young people. I had never seen so many people my age. It was like the whole church was like college students pretty much.
Nice.
And I had never seen that before. Like most times, like I went to an old school Baptist church. Okay. And, you know, it was mainly like older people. You know, and they had youth events, but, you know, it really wasn't like nothing that I would want to go to, you know. So, you know, but they would have these parties on, it'd be like once or twice a month called Hype Nights. Okay. And so they would have different artists come and perform, and we would dance. I didn't even know you could dance at church. You know, they was dancing, and you know, because like I said, you get to dancing at the Baptist church. They throw the blanket on. You be wrapped up. You know, so I'm like, they dance in church, they pray. You know, I just never seen that. Yeah. And I was just amazed, and so, you know, I never stopped. I kept going. I've been at the ministry for like over 20 years. Awesome. Met my wife there, had a family there, and we've been married for 17 years. And, you know, I haven't looked back.
That's beautiful, bro. Because I remember early 90s, you start hearing about Christian rap, and it sucked.
Yeah.
But you feel bad to say it sucked.
It's true though.
So when I met my producer at Wayne, Todd Johnson, go by Throne Music. Check his.
Mm-hmm.
He
Throne
like
Music. I think I heard of them. Yeah.
He like the gospel Dre.
Mm.
Making music. I work him for my music, and I'm like, bro, you need to start doing this because your stuff awesome. He's laughing like, nah, man, gospel rap suck, bro. You talking about God don't mean everything working in that whole musical form.
Yeah.
But it's gotten tremendously better. Mid-millennium, you start seeing a revival where young people going to church more on campus. You might see them reading the Bible at Wayne. So it's been a good thing to see that people start accepting God more.
Definitely.
And you've been like every man because you the postman, brother. How that come about?
So it's a joke at my job. They call me a Jamaican because they say I done did every job. Every time we talk about stuff, I say, back in 03, I used to do this, and I used to. It's a guy on social media right now. He got a picture doing like every job, so they joke with me about that.
Oh man,
I got into the post office. I needed just some some extra employment. I had got laid off from one of the jobs I had. I was actually, I think, at Delta at the time.
Okay.
And got laid off at Delta, and a couple friends of mine at church was at the post office. And so, I asked about it. I really didn't know much about the post office, looked it up and realized they get paid pretty good,
Yeah. Pay well.
And so I applied and I took the test, and it took them like a year or so to get back with me. And so I got discouraged. I was, trying to do some odd jobs and different things like that to, help with the family. And I was getting unemployment. And so I was really praying, it was a test of faith. Like, Lord, please, I need this. I need something steady that I can help to provide, because I was in between situations.
Mm-hmm.
So they called me and had me go down and take the test in Dearborn. And the test was tough. I didn't think it would be that tough, but it's a lot of memory, and I'm like, oh, here we go. I'm back to school again, but I did well. I did well on the test and passed, and I was delivering out in Dearborn for at least about 8 years and met some wonderful people there. It's a whole world. It's a community, and built relationships with the community I was in, and I really enjoyed the exercise, but it was hard on my body, my feet.
Okay.
And ended up getting injured, and had to. It encouraged me to go back to school. That's how I ended up going back to school and finishing up my degree, and it pushed me into where I am now with the Union and creating Fresh Air.
So, when you first started your college journey, did you think you would be where you are now?
Not at all. I mean, college for me was like unfinished business.
Okay.
Because I heard you share your story. It was similar with me. It took me so long. I was like a 5th, 6th year senior. And I'm like, I was getting discouraged. Because I would start, and then I got married, and my wife, she was very supportive, but it just, when we start having children, I had to put it on pause.
Yeah.
And so I bounced around and it was like, man, am I ever going to finish? And it was something that I told myself that I wanted to do. It was like, I have to get my degree. I was the only one in my family, that graduated. So, it was like breaking a generational curse for me, just to prove to myself that I could do it. And, I cried. I literally cried when I walked across the stage, because it was such a huge moment, from, being 15 shot in the streets to now walking across the stage, and my family being able to see that, my wife, my children, my mother, it was a huge thing. But, getting me to where I am now, I see the importance of education because, that rigorous studying and all of that, just balancing schedules and just all the things you got to go through in school really does help you when you get out here and work in corporate and wherever you are. I mean, I'm a better, more disciplined person as a result of it. And so it did really propel me to be where I am.
That's awesome, brother. I graduated with 22 we did it because 20 was COVID. I just had to laugh like,
yeah,
it's my time, man.
Somehow. Yeah. I came out around that time too. Yeah.
But I shook my head. Well, we reached the point to promote whatever you have coming up. The floor is yours, sir.
Thank you. First, I just appreciate your platform. This was a great conversation. I love the vibe we have. I have some programs with Fresh Air that if you want to get involved, all my social media is Fresh Air Detroit, Fresh Air Detroit, Instagram, LinkedIn, Fresh Air Detroit, Linktree. You can find me at Fresh Air Detroit, pretty much anything. So what I'm working on now is coming up with a way to help with high schoolers that's doing workforce development, teaching etiquette to them so that they could be impactful in the work market. So that's a new component onto the etiquette that I teach. Right now I'm doing grooming and dining etiquette, also advanced social etiquette. So if you're interested, you could reach out to me, DM me, let me know what you're interested in, and we can connect.
Okay, and I got on the screen. Type in Fresh Air Detroit. That's a dope way of saying air. You'll see them. I'm gonna follow you when I get down with the show a little bit.
Thank you.
Anything else coming up, brother?
Like I said, my son, they have the play tomorrow. I don't know when this is going to air.
Okay.
So that is the 10th. They have a play. The Union is doing a production at DSA. There is like a rendition of Saved by the Bell. It's supposed to be pretty good. If you're not doing anything, come check that out. You remember that show from back in the day?
Yeah. On that, man. Even the college years I watched.
Yeah. So They doing a play. They've been working really hard on that. If you're looking for a church, you can come check me out at Redeemed Christian Fellowship Ministries International. Apostle Alfonso Smith and his wife Siobhan Smith, they are amazing pastors. Like I said, I've been there for many years. Just being active in the community. I support anything that's positive. I know they New Era Detroit does the giveaways in the community, and they go from different neighborhood to neighborhood. So anything that is positive in the community, I'm behind.
Okay. I'm with that. You thought about writing a book?
I actually have 3 books that are written. I haven't released them yet.
Okay.
I have a how-to guide for parents to teach their youth etiquette, all things pertaining to etiquette.
Okay, because my Spight says it's not the author. L.L.C.
Yeah, I've been watching your shows, which was great. The last guest you had on, I really enjoyed that interview.
Yeah, he definitely went through a lot. He's doing awesome stuff now. Yeah. Next question will be, what has been your biggest challenge on your journey?
Biggest challenge for me is just maintaining balance. Balance is really, it could be a struggle, especially with, me being married, having children, and, making sure that I'm a, man of God and walking with integrity and, being a CEO of an organization and working for an organization. I have to really discipline myself to be self-motivated. And so, it's just getting up early in the morning, planning out my day, staying consistent, putting date nights on the calendar, making sure, I spend time with the kids, making sure that I'm involved in ministry and just doing all of those things. So, just balancing out and giving my time and giving my effort, 100% in all areas. And then also, as men, just, committing to self-care.
Yeah.
Because we lose ourselves sometimes in that. And one thing I've learned is I was reading this book by Jason Wilson called The Man the Moment Demands. And he was saying in the book how really the goal is to be imbalanced and to really lean on God for that area and that strength that we need to be able to keep everything moving. So I'm learning how to lean on the Father and just trust that the things that I can't do, that he'll make up the difference.
That is so true. I'm learning that in this season of my journey.
Yeah, it's a challenge.
In your words, what has been your impact in the community?
I feel that my greatest impact is the connections that I've been able to make with young men and being able to stay real and stay true to myself. Being able to be an advocate for young men that, to know that they can have a second chance. My testimony is my testimony, and I every opportunity that I get, I share with the young men about my journey. So many of them, were inspired by just hearing a story that you can be in the streets and turn your life around and learn how to, conduct yourself as a respectful young man, learn etiquette, learn how to respect yourself, respect other people, and having somebody that they can see firsthand and trust. Like I said, I'm from Highland Park. So, just being able to go back to my community and people know me, love me, respect me. And then, just having that foundation in God where they know that I can point to the Father and say, if it wasn't for, God on my side, I wouldn't be anything. So I think my greatest legacy and impact in the community is just the story that I'm able to tell and the young men that I'm able to impact.
You're real life Mr. T, brother. That was one of the biggest things besides the shows and stuff he did. He always talked to the kids. I remember an interview where he told a person he wear a lot of jewelry because he trying to show them you don't have to be the street person to get that in the car. You can do it legally and still have the same stuff that you want to rock.
Definitely. Yeah.
Those samples nowadays.
Yeah, Mr. T, that was one of my greatest inspirations too, like you said, because he kept it real every time,
We need more of that leadership out here in the street, especially on TVs, man.
Definitely.
Everything can't be thug stuff. Well, last question, Yoda Gang. Hope I made you feel comfortable. Give me that Nietzsche type thoughts. What advice do you have for someone trying to find their purpose?
If you're trying to find your purpose, my advice would be to pray. Prayer is powerful. Prayer is a weapon that you have at your disposal. You'd be surprised how many young people, adults, and older people are in the same situation, seeking for their purpose, because it's like every level things change, and it's like you have to adjust. But through prayer, God will give you the insight and the direction to where you need to go, who you need to connect with. The church that I found when I was telling my story about the guy I connected with, I prayed. I was in a spot where I just felt like I was lost, and I asked God. I said, please, Father, show me where I need to be. Show me the people I need to be around. Show me the relationships that I need to be involved in. Show me, guide me. If you do it, I'll follow. If you lead me, I'll follow. And he did. He showed me clear as day. I mean, my car literally broke down, so I couldn't go anywhere. And as a result of that, I was connected to a community that forever changed my life. So, God has a story for you. You have a purpose for your life. If you confused right now, it's okay. Seek him, talk to him, go to somebody that you trust. Don't just keep it inside. Don't just walk around and feeling like you got to put this facade on and be tough and just nonchalant, so that people won't know. Got to open up as men. We got to express our emotions. We got to let people know, the right people know what's going on. And last, I would say, I'm an advocate for therapy. I believe that prayer is a weapon and therapy is a strategy on how to move forward. So along with prayer, if you feel like you're in a tough spot, seek professional help. Talk to somebody. We come from a community where we experience a lot of trauma. And, we walk around and a lot of us are dealing with so many things that it's hard to really even have a clear mind. So, therapy can help you put a plan together, put a strategy together so that, you could be your best self. So that's the advice that I would give.
That's pretty amazing. I'm about to put that number they made up. Hold on, my bad. Messing up the number. All right, put it back up here because that's dope. There we go. Because they made that since I've been doing this show. They made that national hotline number called 988 for that help.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's some good stuff. If you need therapy or call that number, someone to help you.
Definitely. So thank you for doing that.
Over show. Try to be on point with this thing a little bit. So, what is your first podcast, or?
I would say this my second, but
okay.
In this format, the way that you interview, just me talking about myself, I would say this the first time I've just exclusively focused on the things I was doing.
How you like it, Dad? I achieve my talent, treat my family, make you comfortable, all that good stuff.
Yeah, you did a great job. I love how you conversate. It really makes the guests feel comfortable. I felt very comfortable, and I felt like we've known each other for years. So you did a great job with it.
And people that you work with, I love having stories, man.
I'll definitely spread the word.
I know you're around a lot of great people who got some stories. Tell you, someday somebody gonna say, "Man, that show helped me." I don't know who's gonna be, but I'm gonna see a hashtag. That show helped me.
Yeah, that's
the whole point. Help people out.
Thank you for everything.
Hey, I appreciate you, brother. I'm sitting here like, dang. Yeah, I know what you going through. God got you, man. You talking, but you got shot. Look at him.
Yeah.
What you crying about?
Yeah. No, it's a real thing. Gratefulness is a real thing, man.
It really is. Definitely. You're definitely welcome back when you drop them books. Or I'm thinking about something mentioned to me. Maybe have fellas round table type conversation. Might figure that out. If you'd like to be a part of it, I'll reach out to you. Talk about men stuff so young guys can hear different walks of life. Same stuff they might be dealing with now that we dealt with or dealing with and how we overcome it.
Okay, I'm down.
I think that might help. Well, any last words for let's get back to your lovely family?
Yep, no, I think I said it all.
Okay. Well, we want to thank fellow Wayne State University alum, CEO and founder of Fresh Air Detroit LLC, Etiquette instructor, life coach, male mentor, the Union career manager, Elder Marc Spight Sr. for sharing this journey. It'll be out on Make Some Clips. Hey, this brother, he doing it. You can do it. You ain't got to be a YN. You can be better.
Appreciate it.
Crazy, that's the word now.
Yeah, I know, right? We got to change that.
No, be grown men. That's way
right.
Better.
That's
way
it.
Better. We're gonna kick it out with the outro. Well, I ain't figured how to chop it up, so it's gonna be the beginning again. But great song.
I love it.
Go listen to it, brother.
Yeah, it's dope.
Y'all enjoy weekend. Ground floor at 9 o'clock. Till next time, everybody. Detroit, welcome to the D, baby. 3-1.